What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I know that it has been a little while, but we are back. It's just been a lot going on. But as usual, I'm your girl, Chris Maria, and I'm joined with my amazing co-host, Q. Q, how have you been doing? What's been going on in life? It's been a minute.
You know how it is. It's life. We have a lot changes in life, so you have to be ready for the unexpected, and you have to be ready mentally to be prepared for that challenge. Episodes ago, and also God's not going to put you in a situation that you're not going to be able to handle. So you have to rise to the occasion. So whenever your life gives you change, guys, just make sure you handle them, the best way you can, and keep your mental right. You know what I'm saying? Definitely keep your mental right, because I know it's tough out there.
When life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
I'm not a big lemonade person no more like that. I need a little mixture with my lemonade, like an Arnold Palmer, I guess.
Okay, Arnold Palmer. You gotta find that tea. You gotta,
or give me a mango peach tea or something.
You gotta find the tea. You gotta find the tea for
you gotta make the tea. When the life gives you lemons, make your tea.
Well, we're going to totally apologize for being MIA for a very long time at this point, but there has seriously been a lot going on. So we are going to
missed you guys.
We have. And, so I want to jump on a ton of topics. A ton. We might not cover them all in this episode, but we're going to try, at least we're going to try. But, because it's been, I know people, I feel so sorry for the fans, because I'm like, we don't do a good job at keeping you guys updated. We're going to do better. We promise.
Yes, ma'am.
So there's just been a lot of, life has been definitely moving. So let's just jump right into it.
No, we're not going to jump into it. Like, you were about to get married. Like, how are you just going to walk past that? You just going to Euro that like that? Like, no. How are you feeling right now, ma'am?
And I want to give a huge shout out to all of the 2021 brides who are planning a wedding in 2021, who planned a wedding in 2020, who had a wedding in 2019. Anybody who planned a wedding through all this stuff that is going on, hats off to you. And then hats off to the people who just plan weddings, because it is a lot of work. That's why we haven't been on here so long, because your girl is tired, okay? She's stressed.
Hey, she's saying she's tired, y'all, but ain't she looking nice today? I want y'all to leave a comment, please, on how nice Chris is looking tonight.
I'm trying. Don't yank too hard.
See, this is why I don't like giving you compliments. I usually don't.
I know relates to the ball game, but I want to talk about Lil Nas for a second and Lil Nas X. I don't know how many people have been still following the whole situation. I haven't necessarily been following it, but I live for a comment now. Y'all know I be in them comments. So I'm curious as to, Q, what do you think? Like, what do you think the natural reaction was for a lot of people? Have you seen the video? Let me start there.
I haven't seen the full video. I had to stop at a certain point, because you just know where it's going. I got to the part where everybody was blowing up and everything like that. But after a while, I just, I'm just not about to watch that. For what?
For what?
Yeah, for what? Like, I'm never going to tell somebody what to do, because one, I'm not a father, and I can't tell nobody who making their own money what to do. You do what you want to do.
But as a big brother, what advice would you have given? Yeah, like if he was your brother, cousin, or something, what advice? Like, how would you have taken that? Do you think it's just a creative form of expression? Because I've seen a lot of people saying, what they say, you gospel people need to chill out, because this is just a creative form of expression. He's just trying to make a seat for himself, blah, blah, blah. Do you think that? Do you think it's the Illuminati? Because a lot of people were saying that too in the comments.
Oh, God. To me, it's too much, but he's such a, I don't want to say controversial type of person, but he's just like a troll on the internet. Like, he always does, his shit like this. So to me, I'm like, okay, so to me, he's just taking that extraness to an extra level. I feel like it's like, what are you doing? If I was like his older brother, I would have been like, bro, don't put no shit out like that. Like, what the hell wrong with you? I don't no. Like,
I know. I'm disturbed by his team. Like, why didn't nobody on his team say,
But then again, you know what I'm saying? If he feels like whatever the song is or whatever, call me what you want or whatever like that and all that.
Call me by my name, I think it is.
To me, it's like you see different holes going to, because you see them like saying, people saying like, oh, he's just saying whatever you guys gonna call me, you guys can basically calling me the devil because I prefer my life a certain way outside of. So you can see that aspect, but then you see, you know, the gospel people saying, oh, you're a devil worshiper or whatever, that's blasphemy or stuff like that. Like, you see all those different rabbit holes and stuff, and it's like people just discussing the topic. But to me, he's just doing too much. If I was, like I said, if I was his big brother, bro, what the fuck are you doing? We not about to put no shit out like this. I don't care if you gay or not. I'm not about to have you out here with some goddamn Players Club braids, dancing on the devil, and you sliding down a long ass stripper pole. Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
I don't care if you believe in God or not. You just not about to put that shit out there. No, I don't care if you see, but people on this team is just some yes men. I don't know. I'm just assuming at this point, but
I mean, they have to be. They have to be. I mean, then he put out the shoes too. Don't forget about the shoes. I just think there was a different way for him to express himself and to make a point. I think that
What?
You know what I'm getting ready to say. I think that he does not know what he's doing. And I think that he needs to be very cautious of the doors that he's opening and the doors that he's knocking on. And I think for a lot of people, they don't realize that this is just one realm. There's more than just this one realm. Anybody who operates at a higher frequency or a certain conscious level or a certain vibration, they already know there's multiple layers to this. And right now, I think that he just thinks that it's no big deal, you know. And I warn people against this stuff all the time because spiritual beings are very real. So even though he's saying, oh, well, I'm trying to make a statement so I can creatively express myself, I can, so you guys will, you know, if you're going to call me the devil, then fine, call me the devil. I think at the same time, you got to watch who you're mocking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We talked about it before. Excuse me for just cutting off a little bit, but like the power of the tongue and, you know, what you're speaking, you know, upon yourself or the actions that you do.
And I think that's what kills me about the people that I was reading in the comments. It's like 1 minute y'all want to be talking about, oh, I'm a manifest that house, manifest that man, you know, or speaking into the universe. Oh, God bless me when I'm having a good day. You know, 1 minute it's like, then the next minute it's like, oh, this isn't no big deal. It's like, well, where do you think manifesting comes from? Like, where do you think that comes from? You have to have faith. You have to believe in it. So if you realize that you are operating at some type of spiritualness in your body. So for him to sit around and just act like it's no big deal that I just dropped it like it was hot on Satan, you know, it's like, I think you're knocking on the wrong doors, and you got to be careful of the demons that you're allowing into your space, because it is a very real thing. Whether, I don't care if you're 18, 19, we've all been there. We've been young and just trying to figure out our own way. And
how old is he?
I think he's like 22 or something, 23 or something. He's young, you know? So like, I really do. I do appreciate a lot of people like a Marcus Rogers, who's like going around and praying for him and just constantly keeping him in prayer, because he does not know what he's doing. And those doors are going to open up. They may not manifest themselves today, but them demons going to have a party with you. So just call on that.
Thank you, Sister Graham. Man, yeah, because somebody need to pray on him.
Somebody definitely needs to pray over him. And he probably just doesn't have, but the thing is, people will say, oh, well, it can't happen to you if you don't believe it. It's like, no, the spiritual realm, spiritual warfare is very real. I don't care who you're governed by. I don't care if you're governed by Buddha, whatever. Your spirituality is very real. Mm-hmm. You'll hear people get, messed up on drugs and say, I felt like my spirit came out of my body. Like, And it's like, you don't have to be a Christian or in church all the time to realize that you have a soul and a spiritual body, and you have to be careful of the doors you're open on. Just like there's good spirits, there's bad spirits, you know, just no different from the Wizard of Oz, good witch and the bad witch, you know, hey. You know?
Yeah, I feel you. And since that's enough on Lil Nas X. Like I said, I stopped the video at a certain point, and I'm gonna.
It's the shoes for me. It's the shoes for me. You took it another step with the shoes.
Fuck them damn.
And the amount of shoes that you did, you spent time on this. You writing Bible verses on it. You really went an extra mile to mock God. Mm. You don't do that, boo. He controls your whole life. But anyway, let's move on. And I'm gonna leave it there before it be a whole Sunday sermon right here.
Right. So I need a Sunday sermon, just not about that though.
What you need a Sunday sermon about?
We'll talk about that later. Chris is not really in the news like that, y'all. So for me, when I tell her about certain situations, this is her first time being informed. But what's been going on, Chris, as you've seen, we haven't been seeing a lot of like shootings going along.
Right.
A lot of killings. We haven't been seeing. Still the injustice, of Black people by authority or by police or law enforcement. Now, Chris, I had to tell Chris about a couple shootings that happened in Tennessee. There was one recently that just happened in Minnesota, and then you also seen about the killing that happened in. Not Minnesota, but also in Wisconsin as well. That happened just like this morning or last night. But there's so many shootings that going on. And if anybody, prayers out to the families that happened here in Nap, you know what I'm saying, at the warehouse, like that's just wild. But what is your take as far as gun control?
Are we talking about more so of police shootings or just civilians going crazy and killing and things like that? Which angle do you want me to?
To me, we really don't even have to talk about police shootings with Black people. Our voices have been crying about that a long time. Not saying that we're lowering our voices or not elevating, it even further to be spread, but we're always going to be. I feel like our as far as racism against people, it's always going to. Like we've always been there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not really something we always need to talk about. But like just these civilian shootings that's going on, like what do you feel about that in school shootings?
The school shootings have been going on since, we were kids.
Columbine, yeah.
And, I'm trying to say this with a lot of respect and grace. I think that it's not, I wonder, I think people are so quick to put Band-Aids on things, and they're so quick to just be like, oh, well, like that's not a big deal. He was struggling, but it's the symptoms. It's the symptoms first. It's the symptoms first that when people start crying out, it's the symptoms first that we just let until it festers and festers and festers. We just let it keep going until it becomes this nasty, huge stank aroma. And then it's like, oh my God, well, I didn't know that Brent was going to go off and do all of this,
But how do you separate the signs or, the pre-existing, symptoms from just someone being a cold motherfucker and just don't care about life, period? Like, how do you separate that?
They weren't born that way. You get what I'm saying? So everybody has, if they're starting to be born that way, then, God help us all, because they weren't born that way. So something happened to them in their life where they had this
some type of trauma.
Yeah. Some type of trauma or, experience where they started disassociating themselves from, who they really are. So there's still symptoms happening there, whether they started happening at a young age of 5 or, 10 or something. And now they're grown up, because that's all broken adults are broken children who grew up, you know what I mean? And they're still operating in that same space, just now they're older. And I think that it's tragic, especially for what happened in Indy for somebody. Why did he go in there in the warehouse and did he get fired or something?
I'm not for sure. They said that he was a troubled young man, and his family tried to get him some help.
So he was young. He was like a younger guy.
I'm not for sure about the exact age.
We need to have better things in place for mental health issues. We need to stop taking that so lightly. People be struggling, like real talk.
You know how when we were growing up, they would always say, our parents, showed us tough love at certain times because, the world ain't gonna show them no love.
Right.
So when do we start, I guess you're saying put Band-Aids on things, when we're gonna start just ripping the Band-Aid off and just creating that scab, you know what I mean? Where you can protect, build up your mental toughness, or I guess, build up that, defense mechanisms to help you move and maneuver through the world. Like, because the world is cold. I mean, it sucks to say it like that, but the world is cold. It's a cold, harder place. Like it ain't gonna give you no. It's not gonna give you no, no handouts or anything like that. So like, when do we say we need to give more mental health, and then we need to build up that mental strength?
I think, to answer your question, I think we can start doing that when we stop pretending like it's not happening. You know what I mean? Like, or, like, for instance, in this case, for that loved one, they knew he was troubled. Why y'all didn't put him in a psych ward? Why didn't y'all send him to some outpatient care? Why didn't y'all get him the help he need? Because you just kept saying, oh, he'll grow out of it, or you just didn't have enough time, or you wouldn't have the money. But there's other ways to seek help, even if you don't have the money. You get what I'm saying? Like, if it's my kid, I'll mortgage out whatever I got to mortgage out to get the help that they need. You know what I mean?
Now and that 401k if we need be.
Right. So there's other ways to get the help. And to me, if you're a family member of that person, you probably are already aware of some of the tragic things that have happened to that person if you're not one of the people who help enable it. See, people want to be silent about stuff when it's time to speak. And that's the issue. People out here getting, raped and hurt and beat on and stuff like that. And people want to be, shh, what happens in our house stays in our house, be quiet. And they don't want to speak. They don't want to speak out. Me and Sam were just talking about this the other day. And we were talking about basically like type A personalities, and type A personalities pretty much, will say what they need to say, like it don't matter. But I think like a Kanye, just for people who don't really know what a type A person is, like a Kanye West or, Donald Trump, he's like a very narcissistic side of a type A, but, so sorry about that one, but sorry about that example. But they do have type A personalities, and people get mad at people who have those certain personalities because they always are speaking whatever comes to their mind. But right. You need people like that. You need people like that because let's say he needed somebody like that to speak out and say something. Because a lot of people don't want to handle the confrontation. They want to be quiet about it. Right. And it's not just that person. It's all these things happening. Now some of them I don't always think that they are, what they say they are. Some of them I'm a little. I know how the media work too, so I'm like.
Some government.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get kicked out there, but I think the government's the biggest gain. I'm with Tupac. I'm like, government is the biggest gain in the world. So, I just think that we have to be cautious because seeing is not always believing. We can be, deceived through sight. I know a lot of people say, oh, you walk by faith and not by sight. And some people say it's good to have sight, you can see, but sometimes people will throw a wool over your eyes. So you got to be careful on what you think is the gospel. So. Oh,
I always didn't understand that saying a wool over someone's eyes, because wool is thick. Like, goddamn, like it's something that thick you can't see. like you can't tell that you can't see. But.
Well, when you've been manipulated so bad, I mean, think about people who get, in bad relationships. They have the wool pull over their eyes.
It couldn't be
like taking our hats and just stuffing them over their eyes, and they don't know. They're just going off of what their brain is. I was listening to Nick Cannon's podcast, and he had a guest on there, and the guy said, he was reading a book, and he was basically saying that if you can control somebody's mind, you can control everything. Mm-hmm. You don't have to, chain them up or lock them up to make them stay, because you're controlling their mind. They're going to stay not willingly, but they're going to stay because they're being mind controlled, and you have them like that. So they will stay willing versus like if I'm being controlled by my mind controls so many things. It can even tell your heart what to do. You know what I mean? The mind is a terrible thing to waste. Who's that? Spike Lee?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's why it's mind, body, and soul. You have to mind your diet. You have to be careful of what you're saying, what you're looking at, what you're putting into the world. You have to be careful. So I'm sad about the gun, you know, the stuff. I don't think we should get rid of guns. I'm not one of those people. I'm never gonna come on here and say that.
Crystal took that thing, y'all. Don't let her fool you.
You know, you got the right to bear arms. People crazy. People are crazy.
She's in Florida, y'all. So she put that thing right there on the head.
Right. It's to stand your own ground over here. So don't be over here with because there's a lot of stuff going on. People crazy. People be, you know, following people. Like I said, beating people, raping people, stalking people. It's
I just don't understand. Like, how are people that like? I just be thinking like, motherfuckers is that crazy that you stalking somebody? You stalking somebody? Like, come on.
I had a stalker once.
Ooh.
I did. Wow. He ended up going to prison for drugs.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I don't even know if I can say all that on here.
Right. Just sticking with like the whole shooting. Is that like an epidemic that we're having in the U.S.? Would that be considered an epidemic?
I don't know what you call it. I mean, this is what the soil is built on.
Since we've been, you know, away from the fans and everything like that, the Asian community was hit with the shooting and everything, which is very sad. You know, everybody knows. If people don't know, in the early 1900s, you know, America had concentration camps of Asian Americans, and we know even further before that, America has a rich history of just shooting up motherfuckers, you know, here and taking land and everything, or holding people captive in colonization. But kind of still speaking on that mental health thing, the guy that actually did that shooting said he had a fetish for Asian women, and that's another topic a little bit, you know. So
what did he do? What did he do? He shot up. Sorry, excuse me. I've been under a pillow for a while.
He liked to go to massage parlors, or you know, massage parlors, Asian massage parlors, and you know, he didn't get no play. You know what I mean? So, and he had
So he shot him?
Yeah. It's sad.
Oh, and are they saying that was like an Asian hate crime? Are they just saying that's not the truth, that it was more of an Asian hate crime?
They said it was an Asian hate crime. Some people are, but you still have the other side saying like, oh, since he had a fetishes of Asian women, that's why they were targeted and things like that. But that's still it doesn't matter to me. Like, it's a sick act. Like, why would you kill somebody, period? First of all. And then like, I don't care if you have a fetish or anything like that, bro. If you got enough money to do whatever, get these massages and buy your guns and everything like that, you could have spent you that $2,000 and built you a Asian woman.
Not built though. I think, you know, obviously it's a tragedy because, you know, it just always sucks. It's no different from when like 9/11 happened and then everybody started hating on, you know, Muslims or people who looked like they were Muslim of some sort. And it's the same thing, or no difference from, you know, the border being closed and then everybody had a problem with Hispanic people. You know, it's starting to become like every year that it's a different race. It's every race, but you know,
I feel you. Mm-hmm.
It's just a different. It's just a different race. And I'm not saying that to make it lighter, because it's not. But it's like how many more times are we going to talk about it? Why is nobody thinking the Asians, the Hispanics, the Muslims, the Indians, the minorities is what they're calling it.
Right.
Why is nobody thinking, why don't we all band together? We still haven't grasped that. We're like, oh, that's the Asian community's thing. It's like, no, Asians, Black, Hispanics, We are one and the same.
Are you saying all of us team up against you know who, or
no? I'm not saying let's all team up against Caucasian.
I thought you was trying
to. Not
like,
what I'm saying. Oh my gosh, absolutely not. I'm saying even Caucasian people, but I'm saying why don't we all band together and start creating a different reality for ourselves? We are the people. We have the power. I don't care how much the government tries to put out new laws and things to continuously control us. We have the power, but we need to stop. I told you, I said it earlier. If you can get into a person's mind, you can control everything.
But we know they play the mind tricks. So you got to have dough to play that game. You got to have that type of, if you got to be able to move
the Asian community, the Vietnamese community, they own all these beauty supply stores. Don't you ever for 1 second get it twisted.
No.
They're probably shipping half the stuff to Amazon.
Now you talking about and create a reality that we want. You really think that the government's going to allow us to create a reality that we want? That's it's not about. I'm not saying that owning these stores and everything ain't big moves, but you're talking about actually changing the reality that we currently live in and building something new. We gotta have that type of power. You have to move the government. How do we move that part of government out?
Listen, I'm telling you, I watched this guy on Nick Cannon's podcast. He said on Black Friday alone, Black people contribute to $3 billion. And in just one state, $3 billion worth of sales. We got the money. We don't use our money correctly. The Indians got the money. We all got the money, but we need to stop thinking that this is just their problem or, isolating ourselves. We gotta stop thinking like that. We gotta stop looking, I hate to say it like this, but y'all know what I'm saying. I promise y'all, 5 years later down the road, it's gonna make more sense. We got to stop thinking the government is our all and be all. Mm-hmm. They do not govern us. They're called government for a reason. Me and Sam were just talking about this too. That, the word government, and people will say, oh, semantics. It has the word govern in there. And I tell you guys all the time, don't nobody govern me but God. And I don't need nobody else governing me. That's who I answer to at the end of the day. And Sam always says, the word meant means mind. So it's telling you, it's basing off of trying to control you more. We gotta stop. Everything ain't what it seems, and then in one breath you believe that, and then the next breath you're like, oh, but we need to do this, we need to do that. But we're still begging for the same handouts. We have the power. You want to start a revolution? No, people don't want to start no revolution. They're too nervous to leave their comfortability, their homes, and the only system that they ever known. It's like the Truman Show. But you got to break through the wall. You know what I mean? And
if we had like a big congregation of one, let's just say we had just a couple states of let's say 1.5 million people. They said, we're going to go here. We're buying this land. We're going to take care of our people. We're going to do what we need to do. You heading there?
It's not that I wouldn't head there, because I think I'm more so skeptical of what is their moves going to be. People's natural reaction is to try to control something. And when they can't control it, they tend to lose their minds or lose their stuff. So their natural reaction, just humans in general, they try to control things. And we have to realize that we're not, I say the same thing to, my daughter. I'm like, I don't control you. I'm not your controller. I'm not. I'm your guide, though. That's who I am. I'm here to help guide you. I'm not here to control you. I'm here to help guide you to get back to where you're supposed to be. And I think that people need to stop trying to control everything. And it might not even be something that heavy. It might just be like, oh, my job went this way. You stop trying to control everything. You're trying to control the wind. And I think that's what society teaches, like tries to underline, like beneath it all, kind of helps teach us in that we can control these things. We are not in control, and neither are they. But they want to make you feel like they're in control, and they're not. Nope. All right. I ain't going to preach today. I'm going to move on.
Dang it there. Good God.
Take it there. But I'm not gonna take it there. I'm just saying we're not in control. You know, it depends on how you believe, but God is in control.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
You know what I mean? Like Amen. At the end of the day, that's who's in control. I'm not in control. I'm not in control. You know, God is in control. So you submit yourself to Him. You know, I even saw Fantasia getting a lot of flashback on the wife submitting to the man and stuff like that. But we'll save that for another topic. But I've seen a lot of people giving her flat back. But we're not in control, because when you realize who's controlling your life, this is the creation. We're not the creators. You get what I'm saying? Like, we're not the creators. I can't snap my fingers and create and be the creator. I didn't breathe life into Gabriella. You know what I mean? That's not my job. So I think that we need to stop trying to control everything and really start to unlearn some of the things that we've been taught. We have been taught. And this is not just, you know, minorities. This is the human race in general. You know what I mean? So I'm not just talking about one certain race. I'm talking about everybody. I love everybody. I don't have no problems. At the end of the day, I know I'm a Black woman, but I love everybody. I love everybody the same. And I think that we have to really start unlearning and stop trying to act like, well, I don't want to say anything to them because I don't want to, raise any hats. No, you see somebody, be a good Samaritan law, be a good Samaritan. Say something, anything. Say this real quick on air before we end really quick. This is how I want to end. I'm gonna put you on the spot real quick. You getting the vaccine?
Man, why you want to do all that, dog? Why you
real quick. No, real quick. Just speak your truth. You getting the vaccine or what?
What vaccine?
To segue from, to segue from,
what
the
vaccine?
Asian hate crimes, all this other stuff. Q, will you be getting the vaccine?
Will Q be getting the vaccine? Don't. Find out next time.
And do you know do you know anybody who has it?
Yeah, my parents have the vaccine. My aunt has the vaccine. My other aunt has that vaccine. Three of my uncles have it. A lot of my family members do have it. One of my good friends, he works in the hospital, so he got it off the bat. A couple people I know, friends I know.
Okay, you're rambling. Are you gonna be getting the vaccine?
Why are we talking about this?
Because
Look, I need to continue. have to continue to see more research about what's going on.
Okay, that's fair.
Just not saying that I'm against it fully. Like at first, like I was like, hell nah, government control, fuck y'all. But then, I'm like, all right, I had to start listening to some of my friends and everything like that. And like, all right, so it's because some of them are in the medical field, so they actually see it. But then I'm still like, y'all see it, but y'all don't see it. So my whole thing, and then I'll be seeing like news reports or whatever that be coming on my news feed on my iPhone or whatever on the news, and it was like, well, we're gonna have to get a yearly vaccine after this, so we're gonna have to get like a dose next year, then a yearly one after that, and then
right.
One of the articles I read said something about like nanovirus. Like, what are you talking about? We talking about nano what? Right. What we got them for? Like, what's all that? That sounds like a tracking code. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm gonna sit back. If they're gonna tell me I have to get a vaccine every year, they're gonna have to fuck off. Fuck off.
And we'll save some of this for the next one. But I mean, are they not coming? Listen. Are they not already telling us how many vaccines we need to get? I mean, I know you don't have kids yet, but when kids go to school, you know how many vaccines they have to. Think about it, even when we were little. They have to get a ton of vaccines before they can even go to public school.
I still remember as a young child, I was like,
they don't even get chicken pox no more.
Right. I was 3 or 4 years old. I remember them poking my thighs with shots in my legs. I was like 3 or 4 years old, I want to say. I remember them poking my thighs. I was like, why? I was like, what the fuck? Like, why are y'all doing this? Like, no. But yeah, like I don't know. We just talked about the government. You just said that y'all need to stop giving the government. But what they be, They some sick motherfuckers, boy.
I just wanted to ask that last question.
Are you getting the vaccine?
Absolutely am not.
I absolutely am not.
But I don't, I'm not saying just
you
because
can't travel the world.
Now, doesn't that sound a little odd to you?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to do something. I can't do this. But whatever. I just think that we'll get on that. We'll hit that later. I think that I'm not condemning anybody that does. You got to do what's best for your mind and your body and yourself. But for me, it's a no for me. But yeah. But with that being said, guys, we'll try not to take so many breaks. We've got a lot going on, but
you guys will see some footage from the wedding. You guys will see.
Yeah, I will try to keep you guys posted on the wedding and the honeymoon and everything like that.
No, we do not want footage of the honeymoon. That should be private.
I don't mean people's minds is always in the gut. It's been great. Y'all know the drill. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys later.
My neck hurts.